I can't. I'm like physically incapable of it. And second to God, this is what I owe my success to. Okay, so I'm going to expose myself here for a little bit. Hello guys and girls, welcome back to my channel. If you have never seen my face before, then hi, my name is Marissa and it's so great to meet you. If you have seen my face before, then it's so nice to see you again. So the last time that I did a Q&A video was when I was like 16 or 17, and so much has happened since 2017 for me. 2017 Marissa is so different from 2020 Marissa. So I just wanted to like kind of reintroduce myself to you guys and answer any questions that you guys had for me, which I love to hear, things that you guys would like to get to know about me a little bit more. And I'm really excited to be able to answer these questions and see what you guys wanted to know. I think it's so cool that you guys are interested in learning more about me, and I'd love to share all that I can with you all. So I asked on Instagram what you guys wanted to know, and I'm gonna go ahead and look at what you guys asked now. So how did you know that veterinary medicine was what you wanted to do? So for me, it was really easy. My entire life I've loved animals, and my parents tell stories of when I was really little, when we would be in the car, they'd have to distract me if they'd see roadkill on the road, because anytime I'd see it, I'd cry, and I'd ask if we can go back to help it. So I feel like I've always wanted to help animals, and I couldn't imagine dedicating my life to a more worthy cause. For me, I just think animals are deserving of all of our love and care, and I literally can't imagine doing anything else. What are your favorite songs at the moment, and what things have changed since 2017 that you've noticed? So my favorite songs at the moment, let's find my playlist and I'll tell you. So my favorite songs at the moment are Ruin That For Me by Avenue Beat and Pedestrian by Ant Saunders. Yeah, those are good. Oh, and Graves into Gardens by Elevation Worship. That's a really good one. And things that have most changed since 2017 that I've noticed, I'm definitely a lot more sure of myself. I think in 2017 I was still trying to figure out what my personality was like and the things that I was looking for in friendships and in relationships. And I think that I'm a lot more sure of myself, which is to be expected because high school is such a transition period and such a growing stage. So I just wasn't sure of who I was fully just yet. And that sounds a little bit cliche, but it's true. And I think now I'm a lot more sure of who I am, and I'm more confident in my abilities, and I think that that's helped me a lot, especially in college, to kind of help pave my path of where I want to go. Where did you learn to sing? In the shower, like literally. When I was younger, I used to think that once the bathroom door was closed, nobody could hear anything that you did on the inside. So I used to, anytime I was going to like the bathroom as a little kid, or I would shower, I would sing at the top of my lungs because I was so confident that nobody could hear me or what I was doing in there. So I always sang in the bathroom, like any chance I got, even if I was going to wash my hands before dinner. Like I would always just go to the bathroom and sing. So I think that a lot of it was born in the bathroom. So actually the most common question that you guys asked me, I got this question from a lot of people, is how do I handle stress? And actually I'm really glad that you guys did ask me this question. So the way that I handle stress, now the primary cause of my stress is with school. So just like insert whatever is your biggest source of stress. For me, like I said, it's college classes, and like the stress of having to maintain a high GPA because I am pursuing graduate school. But whatever stresses you out, just like manipulate the advice that I give you to hopefully be used for your benefit. So actually, since this is such an important question for me, I wrote down a pretty like in-depth answer because a lot of you did ask about it. So I figured since it is gonna benefit hopefully a good amount of you, then it's worth diving a little bit into. So the way that I handle stress is mainly by taking a preventative stance. So I do all that I can to prevent the stress from ever even happening. So what this looks like for me is not putting things off to the last minute. I actually do things as far in advance as I possibly can. For example, this last semester, I had 2 assignments for my one class that were due on the last day of classes, and they were assigned on the first day of classes. So I got them out of the way like the second week of school so that I wasn't putting them off until the last day of classes, because you can't predict how the end of the semester is going to wrap up. With finals and everything, it's just too unpredictable to be able to gauge how the end of the semester is going to play out. So I just like to do things as far in advance as possible, and that definitely eliminates a lot of the stress. Another way that I prevent a lot of stress is through exercise. So I love to go to kickboxing classes and spinning classes, and that's a really good way to just kind of take out any frustration that you have with professors or classes, or if you feel yourself kind of getting anxious about something, then that's a good way to just go blow off steam. And then I think that my biggest tip for you guys is changing your mindset. So I kind of want to talk about this like way more into detail because I really truly feel like this is my key to success, and this is what makes me different from my other pre-vet peers, and second to God, this is what I owe my success to. So everything starts with your mindset. They say a lot of sports are mental, but school is definitely 100% mental as well. If you go into that class saying, oh, it's horrible, this is the worst, it's so hard, well then guess what? It's gonna be horrible, it's gonna be the worst, and it's gonna be so hard because you already set yourself up for it to be that way. When you get advice from other students who have taken that class previously and they didn't have a good experience with that professor or with that course in general, and you go in with expecting it to be a horrible class or for the professor to be really difficult, well then your expectations are probably going to be met because you start out with that mentality that it's going to be that way. Although I do talk to upperclassmen who have taken the class before with the professor, I like to gauge how the professor teaches and how much time the course requires so that I know what to expect, but then that is as far as I take their advice. I don't take it to heart and say, oh my gosh, this professor's horrible, it's going to be such a long semester. I go into it saying, they may have had this bad experience, but I'm going to make that experience better for myself. You know, I kind of see that as a challenge. If they found it difficult, I challenge myself to do better and have a better experience. If you take those types of things with a grain of salt as a challenge, you know, to motivate you to do better, to work as hard as you need to achieve what you want to, who's to say you can't? You know, so I think it all really genuinely, truly starts with your mindset. And I've approached every single class with that mindset, and it's gotten me as far as I've come. So I think that that is so, so important. If you can tell, I am so passionate about this, and I really, truly, completely subscribe to everything starts with your mindset. So that has helped to prevent so much of my stress. Honest to God, just knowing that you can control what you can control, and that is all that you can do. You know, you can only control what you can control, and then everything else is out of your hands. And if you can truly say to yourself, I've done all that I can, then that's the best that you can do. I really hope that this is coming across to you guys as clearly as it comes across to me, because in my head it makes so much sense, and I hope that I'm like helping you see around to my way of thinking. But if you understand that you can only do so much, only so much is within your capabilities, but you are capable of so much. If you can truly say to yourself, I've done all that I can, then there's nothing to stress about because it's all out of your control. And if you are someone who stresses about things that are out of your control, it's doing you no good. You know, I think that stressing about things that you have no control over, it's a losing game because it's not going to help make the situation any better. There's only so much that's in your hands, and then I say it's out of my hands and it's in God's. If you meet God here, then that's where He'll meet you and He'll take the rest. So I think that those things have really helped me, and I hope that they help you too, to be able to channel your stress a little bit better and to be able to handle it a little bit better, especially if it's about school. Okay, so that's like all the preventing stress from happening. But if you are stressed out, which believe me, to tell you all of my tips of preventing stress doesn't mean that I don't feel stressed, especially with my major, it is very stressful, but I don't think there is anything wrong with being stressed. You know, as long as you're using it to be more productive and not to be destructive, meaning if you use your stress to motivate you to study more, to study for longer, study harder, and get to studying earlier, then I think that there is nothing wrong with being stressed. I know that for me, the day before an exam, it's crunch time. So I do feel a little bit stressed, but I use that to motivate me to stay in the library for 8 hours. So I think if you use that stress to make you more productive, then there's nothing wrong with being stressed. So I think there's only so much prevention that you can do, and then a healthy amount of stress encourages you to work harder. When I say you want to be productive and not destructive, if you're so stressed that you're breaking down and you're crying, then I think that that's very destructive, and I don't think that any good can come of that. So I think now, believe me, I've cried my fair share in college. I just want to encourage you, like, okay, go have your cry session, but then only do that for so long, and then you need to get back on it, channel that stress, and use that to get your stuff done. I think that those are my tips for being stressed. If I have anything else, so if you guys are interested in me talking a little bit more about the whole mentality thing and how I've come to fully believe that to make it a reality for me, then I'd love to talk about it. So go ahead and comment that down below real quick, and I'll totally make a video on it if that's something that you guys are interested in seeing. If you think that that will help you, then that's what I'm here for. So I'd love to do that for you guys. Okay, enough with the notebook. We're done talking about stress. So next question. Are you now where you wanted to be in life a few years ago? Yes, actually, I think that I'm further ahead than I ever thought that I would be whenever I made my Q&A video in 2017. I didn't know where I wanted to go to school back when I made that video. I don't think that I did. I never thought that I would be gaining the experience that I have now or be granted the opportunities that I've had so far. I mean, I've been very, very blessed. I could cry thinking about it, but I'm seriously gonna cry thinking about it. But no, I never thought that I would be where I am today 2 years ago. Like mentally, I'm so much happier than I was a few years ago. Yeah, just all around. I never thought God would bless me in the ways that he has, but he has greater plans than our own. So definitely trust in him. Whew. So any uni studying tips? I'm going into my 4th year and sometimes I still lose focus. Okay, so I do have a ton of studying tips. Guys, listen, my entire life these last few years has been studying. When I say all I do is study, like 97% of my time is dedicated to studying or schoolwork of some sort. So if you guys want me to talk about my study strategies and my study tips and tricks, then go ahead and comment that down below, because I would love to make a whole video in and of itself for you guys, because I really do think that I can help you and your GPA. Okay, so another question that you guys all really want to know is makeup products, like what mascara I use. If you want to look at my eyelashes, a lot of you guys ask what mascara I use, skincare products and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go grab a few and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm going to expose myself here for a little bit, but it's okay, because that's what I'm here for, is to help you guys, to tell you all of my tips and tricks. So as far as skincare goes, my routine is very minimal, and I do this for a very specific reason. I've never had issues with acne. I'll get like little spots here and there, but I've never had like a full out breakout, which I'm very grateful for, knock on wood. But I think that I can attest that to the very minimal amount of products and ingredients that I expose my skin to. So I don't do face masks very often, but when I do face masks, I like to use the Mary Kay charcoal mask. I love this mask because you can actually see it working on your skin. I'm very skeptical of any other sheet masks or anything like that that you can buy literally everywhere. I don't like to put those on my skin because for me personally, if I can't see it working, I'm kind of like a gotta see it to believe it kind of person. And with these masks, you actually see the spots and see what it lifts off of and out of your skin. So that's why I love these masks, because you can actually see it work. And this is the only mask that I ever use. And then as far as face washing goes, I'm a firm believer of the Cetaphil brand. So I use both the face wash and the moisturizer. Since it's dermatologist recommended, I have no reason to believe that it's not good for me, and a lot of people do swear by it, and I've never had any issue with either of them. And then to pair with the face wash, I always wash my face with my little scrub brush. It's also from Mary Kay, but you can get these on Amazon or anywhere, and it just has... Can you hear the difference? It has 2 speed settings, and I just wash my face with this because then it gets deep into my pores, and it's so much better than just washing it with my hands. So that's another thing that I think really helps me to keep my skin clear and clean. And then for the makeup, which I think you guys are more interested in, I'm also a minimalist when it comes to my makeup. I'm not very good at doing makeup. Like, you'll never see me doing a good smoky eye. I can't. I'm like physically incapable of it. I have a 3-pronged approach when it comes to my eyelashes. So definitely, if you're not curling your eyelashes, you need to be. I've been curling my eyelashes since like 7th grade. I never put on mascara without curling my eyelashes, so curl your eyelashes. And then I use just a thin liquid eyeliner. And then the mascaras that I use, because I did get a few specific questions about my mascara, so I actually use 2. I use the CoverGirl Clump Crusher, and then I also use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And I like to get the little tube because I think the big tube dries out really fast and it clumps different than the little tube. I'll put this one on first, and then I will go in with a layer of this. And if this is too clumpy and doesn't look natural, then I'll go back over with this one. But that's not all that I do with my eyelashes. So I actually owe my eyelash length to Rodan & Fields Lash Boost. This is not sponsored by them. I wish it was. So I actually put this on my lash line every night before I go to sleep. So yes, that is my secret weapon, and that's what I owe my eyelashes to, for all of you guys who are wondering. What is my favorite food? Anything Italian, like fettuccine alfredo, lasagna, and I think people pronounce it gnocchi, but I've always pronounced it gnocchi, like the little pasta balls. That's been my favorite food since I was like a baby. If I can find the picture, I'll insert a picture of me as a baby right here eating gnocchi. Do you play any instruments? I'm playing. And then I can also strum a little on the guitar and then play piano. But I'm not going to blow you away in any of them. I just can't. You know, if somebody handed it to me and said play, I could. But I'm not going to win any awards for it. And then let's see, what else do we have? Guys, I think we're almost done. How tall are you? I am 5'6" 3/4". But if I'm wearing like thick-soled tennis shoes, I'm 5'7". So do with that information what you will. What is your most favorite thing about God and your most favorite Bible verse? My most favorite thing about God is that I'm not solely responsible for my fate. That's a lot of pressure, you know, to think that you are in complete control of the amount of success that you have and who you meet and where you get to go in life. So knowing that there's like an all-knowing, all-powerful creator who is coordinating everything in my life, I think that just takes all the pressure off of trying to be perfect. Like, he can have it, you know, I don't want it. I don't want all that pressure. That's my favorite thing about God, is just knowing that he has never not been there for me, knowing that he's had a hand in everything that I've ever done, you know, every opportunity that I've ever had, every person that's ever been placed in my life. I think knowing that he's the one who's writing my story is just very comforting for me. So that is my most favorite thing about God, is that he's so involved. And my favorite Bible verse is Colossians 3:17. I think in everything that you do, it can be done to glorify God. You know, if you're an athlete, I love when athletes like go like this. I love seeing that kind of stuff because you're using your platform to turn people to him. I think that that's awesome. All right, guys, so that is all that I have for you today. If you did ask me a question, thank you so much for taking the time to do so. I'm so glad that you guys are interested in learning more about me, getting to know me a little bit better, and I love being able to share more about me with you guys. So it is so great to re-meet you all after 3 years, and I'm so appreciative that you guys have stuck around with me for so long. So please don't forget to like this video if you did like it, and then also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that we never miss each other on here ever again. Alright guys, as always, thank you so much for spending a portion of your day with me. It means so much to me when you guys choose to spend your time with me. So thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Alright guys, take care of yourselves until then. Alright, bye guys.